This is CNN Breaking News.
It's just after 12:30 on the East Coast, and we have breaking news. The DOJ has just released Special Counsel Jack Smith's report on President-elect Donald Trump's alleged efforts to interfere in the 2020 election. The report has now been transmitted to Congress. It's more than 130 pages. CNN has obtained it, is reading through it now to give you the very latest. Moments ago, federal judge Eileen Cannon rejected a last-ditch attempt by Trump to block the release of the report. As you know, Trump was the first president charged with attempting to overturn the election results. That case essentially ended when the Supreme Court ruled that Trump did have some immunity as a president for official acts. I'm going to go right now to CNN Senior correspondent Evan Perez with what we know at this very minute. Okay, we knew it was coming, Evan. Apparently, it's gone to Congress. Why has that been the first stop? Tell me about the procedure.
Yeah, that's part of the protocol of the Justice Department. They, when reports like this are finished, they transmit it to Congress. The two committees that have jurisdiction of Congress. This is the Judiciary Committee in the House and in the Senate. And so that happened minutes after that injunction expired at midnight. The injunction that Judge Eileen Cannon had put in place that prevented the release of any part of this report. So what we have here is Volume 1, which has to do with the investigation of Donald Trump's effort to overturn the results of the 2020 election, and
that was the case that Judge Chutkan handled in Washington, D.C.
That is correct. Has nothing to do with Judge Cannon, but somehow she had asserted to put on hold all of the report. Her hold lifted. As you know, the Trump team had tried at the last minute to ask one more time, and she rejected that. I'll read you just a part of what Jack Smith, in his opening letter, says, in explaining the scope of his work, right? He says, as directed by the principals of the Justice Department, I made my decision in these cases without regard to Mr. Trump's political association activities or beliefs, or the possible personal or professional consequences of a prosecution for me or any member of my office. Obviously, those are words that I think are going to hang over all of this, because Smith is among the many people that Donald Trump has said could face some kind of retribution. People who, around Trump have also said that Smith and others should be arrested or should be investigated for pursuing these cases against Donald Trump. So, he addresses that right here, saying, I did this. Again, we're going through this report right now, but it just gives you a sense of what he does to explain the work he did here today.
And how, of course, he's framing it, knowing very well that this has been the accusation throughout the entirety of his tenure as special counsel. What do the regs say? Can they not just give it right to the public? Why does it have to go through Congress first? Why is there this middleman?
Laura, when I was working on the first impeachment of Donald Trump and we received the Mueller report, it was this same process. They bring you a hard copy. A special courier comes from DOJ.
This was hand-delivered, you're saying tonight.
It is a recognition that Congress will be very, very cross if you or I or Evan got a hold of this report before those who are addressed in Merrick Garland's letter. The chairs of the Senate and House Judiciary Committee and the ranking members get their opportunity. And it's a historic moment because of the full circle that we've traveled with this report. These acts by Donald Trump, so heavily documented, of attempting to overturn the 2020 election so he could stay in the White House. He's now going back to that White House. Mm-hmm. So this is a historic document that we are now going to review.
And look, a lot of this letter that opens this report, I think is directly confronting what Donald Trump has been accusing Jack Smith and his team of.
As recently as last week.
As recently as today, he's been putting on social media he calls Jack Smith deranged. He says, to all who know me well, the claim from Mr. Trump that my decisions as a prosecutor were influenced or directed by the Biden administration or other political actors is, in a word, laughable. He says, while we were not able to bring these cases to be charged to trial, I believe that the fact that our team stood up for the rule of law matters. I believe the example our team set for others to fight for justice without regard for the personal cost matters. Again, he's speaking here in this letter to Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. These are the words of Jack Smith. But he's also, you can tell, sending this out, obviously, to Donald Trump. Again, knowing full well that that's what the consequences of what these two prosecutions are.
He knows full well that everyone's going to be dissecting every single word, looking for every little kernel of indication, either to support what they believe about him or to undermine